What's going on, everyone? Sorry this video is coming out later than expected. I didn't want to have to make this video either. I thought I would have been making the video on the Eagles hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and being crowned champions of Super Bowl 57, but that was just not the case. Before I get into this breakdown, make sure to drop a like on the video so I know you enjoy this Eagles content, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. With that out of the way, let's get into this controversial call that defined the Super Bowl. Last Sunday, the Eagles were tied with the Kansas City Chiefs in one of the most hard-fought and high-scoring Super Bowls in NFL history. With a minute and 45 seconds left on the clock, the Chiefs were at the Eagles' 15-yard line in a 3rd and 8 situation. A stop here would force Kansas City to kick a field goal to go up 3 and give the Eagles the ball back with plenty of time. A first down would allow the Chiefs to run out almost the rest of the clock and kick a game-winning field goal, so the stakes were very high. Kansas City was running a tight formation on this play, with one man in the backfield, with 3 guys bunched up tight with the 5-0 linemen. Juju Smith-Schuster was the only wideout on this play. Patrick Mahomes calls for a motion to Juju Smith-Schuster, with James Bradberry moving over to guard him. This signaled that the Eagles were going to be running a man defense for the 3rd and 8 play. When the ball was snapped, Juju faked a slant inside, cut back outside, and started up the field. Mahomes threw a lob to him that landed nowhere near him, and almost out of bounds. The Eagles got their stop, but after the play was over, a flag was thrown. The refs called James Bradberry for a holding on Juju Smith-Schuster. Personally, I was going insane in my room watching this. I couldn't believe that they actually made this call. I've watched numerous angles of the play and came to a conclusion on what I think of the call. First, we have to talk about if this call was right or not. By rule, this call could be considered a holding in the NFL, but this can apply to almost every play that happens in the NFL. Defensive backs hold opposing players on almost every single play. Offensive linemen hold defensive linemen on almost every single play. They don't call holding on every single play because that would just be ridiculous. What Bradberry did on that play was very normal. Yes, he did barely hold on to the jersey or whatever on the back of Juju, but this stuff happens on almost every play in the NFL. It did not affect his route, it did not affect his trajectory towards the ball, and the ball was nowhere near him to begin with. There were so many times on both teams in that game where players were holding and the refs kept the flag in their back pocket. Why call it on the most crucial play of the entire game? This holding call on James Bradberry was a ticky-tack flag. If you were going to call that there, you would have needed to call that the entire game. You just cannot call it in that situation. This Super Bowl will forever be remembered for that play, and one of the greatest Super Bowls in NFL history is left with a controversial call right at the end. I actually find this unfair to the Chiefs. Even if the Eagles got the ball back, they could have very well lost. This penalty is questioning the legitimacy of the Chiefs' win, even though in the end they deserved the win. The Eagles' defense sucked in the second half, and the Chiefs were just the better team when it counted. Even though I do believe the Eagles deserved the ball back at the end of the game, I still think they didn't deserve this win. Kansas City just played a little better. To sum up this holding penalty, I absolutely hated it. It ruined an exciting ending to an exciting game. If it wasn't called, we would have seen a young Jalen Hurts try and lead the Birds to a game-winning drive with under 2 minutes, but instead we see the Chiefs kneel a couple times, kick a field goal, and watch the Eagles fail a Hail Mary attempt. The refs need to be better in the NFL. People don't watch the NFL to see the refs officiate. They watch to see those teams and players that they love play the game. If you are going to call holding there, it would have needed to have been called the whole game. As an Eagles fan, I'm disappointed, as well as just an NFL fan in general. That's going to conclude this breakdown on the famous James Bradberry holding call. I didn't want to have to make this video because it just reminds me of what could have been for this Eagles team. To come so close just to get your guts ripped out because of a lame call is not something a fan would like to experience. But I try and look on the bright side. The Eagles have a bright future, the Phillies are starting up again, the Sixers are playing great, and the Flyers have been somewhat watchable as of late. If you guys like this breakdown, leave a like so I know you enjoyed it. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my Philly sports content. Comment what videos you guys want to see in the future. I'm thinking about making more of those prospect breakdowns because I know you guys have been liking it up recently. And I think combined I have over like 12,000 views on my 3 Phillies prospect videos. So I'm going to try to expand that into my other sports as well. So stay tuned for that. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.